Hey, Nation, back with longtime friend. Let's not age herself, but Susan Bradley over at AskWoody.
No,
All right, Susan. So, what's news? You always have news. You have that popular newsletter and site, Ask Woody. What's going on?
we're we're still in the, I'm going to call it the stage, the kind of summertime blah. Do we really want to roll out Windows 11? Do we want to still stay on 10? I know I'm in that camp that, first off, I'm a firm believer that I'm not wanting to take existing working computers and push them to something that we're still in the process of working the bugs out.
Yep.
Windows 11, as you know, they're coming up with a new release, and it's one of those kinds of releases that you kind of go, why didn't you put that in version 1? So some of the things are like the redesigned task manager that has been annoying IT pros, integration of Mica in desktop apps, return of drag and drop to the taskbar, all those little things that we kind of go, you know, we were asking for that like a year ago when you first rolled it out. Why did it take you so long? And as you know, Windows 11 has a very high bar when it comes to hardware. I know in my own firm, I can count on one hand how many machines in my office are truly Windows 11 ready.
Yeah.
All the rest of them have something in them, a CPU. Either they don't, most of them have a TPM chips, but there's something else like a processor chip or something that just keeps them out of the bar. And I'm one of these people that I don't like hacking things and going around requirements. You know, yes, there's that thing in there where you can put in the registry and you can say, yes, even though it doesn't meet this one over here, I understand the consequences and I'll go around it. And especially in business, I don't like to do that. I don't mind doing that on a machine that I'm playing with. But when it comes to day-to-day, if a user is going to use it on a regular basis and going to have weird things occur, that's just not how I roll.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to buy, I'm going to be buying my way into Windows 11 probably over the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's interesting. More than any other time. Well, maybe I don't know, maybe not. There was Windows ME. There's been some stories to tell, but you're right. As far as I can tell, with my involvement in the community, there is this hesitation, right? It's kind of like Vista ME 8. There's this hesitation, and versus people got pretty darn excited about Windows XP. Like, okay, that makes sense, and they loved it. They didn't want to leave it.
I mean, you have to go back in history. I mean, Windows XP Service Pack 2, people hated that.
Oh,
How
really?
many people turned off? There was a lot of security features between the original XP and XP Service Pack 2. In IT, we have long memories and short memories.
Yeah.
So we will sometimes forget that we yelled on the very thing that we're now hanging on to, XP, Windows 7, Windows 10, when it comes to its end of life, we probably yelled on the way in. So we have this kind of we remember the good times. We sometimes forget that every single major hardware release, software release, we've had these sticking points where it's hurt for a while. And then then afterwards we love it. And 11, and I do think, because everyone talks about the every other cadence, don't get this version, get the next one. They drew the line in the sand because of security. I don't think they've handled this well on Windows 11. There are some really good security goodness things in Windows 11. The problem is, and especially for those of us in SMB and those of us with budgets and things, a lot of the really good things in Windows 11 that demand those hardware requirements that they're putting out there are up in those higher licenses. You have to have a E3 or E5 in order to really get all of the security goodness.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, thanks guys, but down here in this SMB space, we're not necessarily using all the licenses. So why are you pushing those hardware requirements when we're not doing everything that we're not getting all the licensing in order to deploy all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I just happen to still have an old Windows Vista
Yay! I know.
glass. I got these. What was her name? In Microsoft New York City, Eileen DeVito. So probably a little bit more on the partner side than the product side. And she hosted some events. This is back in the day, of course. So I still have a couple of these Windows Vista cups. And every now and then I'll be on the line with someone from somewhere and they'll say, "Did that say Windows Vista?"
Yeah.
So, well, I'll tell you what, Susan, I appreciate the you framing it up. We'll circle back next quarter. So enjoy the rest of the summer.
Sounds good. Good to talk to you.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, before I go, where can people sign up for your newsletter? Where can they get more information?
Just go out to AskWoody.com. There's a little registration in the corner. We have both a free newsletter and a paid newsletter. So the free newsletter, we give you one free article every week, and then we taunt you by saying, hey, there are these other really, really good stuff that if you want to donate, and we're a donate what you like model.
Yeah.
So as long as you pay $1 or more, we'd love you to pay more, obviously, but obviously, $1 is the bare minimum. We just ask $1 in the tip jar, and that's how we send you a newsletter every week. And also gives you access to what's called the master patch list, and it's where I keep track of patches that come out on a regular basis from Microsoft, Apple, Google these days. We're trying to be realistic as to the marketplace, covering all of the different patches and kind of tracking things that will hit you and your clients.
All right, keep up the good work.
Thank you.